WILDR folks, Alicia here. This week we are trying 3 exercises that are gonna make any sport you wanna try instantly easier, even if you don't consider yourself naturally athletic. And they all revolve around one body part. I will go so far as to say that if you can't do these exercises, any sport you want to try, whether it's skiing or hiking or biking or trail running, is going to be harder for you. So let's jump into these exercises, and I want you to let me know if you can do them yet in the comment section below. So our first exercise is pelvic tilts, being able to control your pelvis and how it is either opened up like here, tilted anteriorly, or tilted posteriorly, really tucked, is gonna make you more stable in any position. I've also found with a lot of clients that if they have low back pain, they tend to be stuck in one pelvic position. A lot of times they'll be stuck like this, sticking out their butt and their tummy and chest, or they'll be stuck here and they won't be able to tilt the pelvis forward. So when you first try this, you can actually try it lying on your back. You'll know that you have ample ability to move the pelvis if when you're lying on the ground, you can fit at least an entire hand in between your back and the ground. And then when you tilt backwards, you can make that space entirely disappear. And we can start with the knees bent here. It's gonna be harder if we go legs out. That's gonna test our mobility a little more. Make sure you can feel the hand, and then this is the one that tests harder. Can I tilt back and make that space totally disappear? We can also test our strength through this range of motion. We just need a band. If you don't have a band, a pair of leggings or pants or any kind of rope also works. So for this, we wanna make sure that we can still press the band down as we go out with our feet and try different leg positions. Our second exercise is our hip dip. So you're gonna stand with a foot off of a raised surface, and then you're going to put a hand on each bone of your pelvis in the front and drop one down, and then come back up to level without rotating the hips to the side, bending the standing knee, or shifting your weight that way to make it easier. So my hip wants to be right over my middle toe, my hip bone, and then I'm gonna drop one side of the hip towards the ground and come right back up to level. If you can do this, then you have the strength to cantilever half of your body over the other half, and it's gonna make you more stable whenever you're taking a step, whenever you have one foot on the ground and the other one in the air. I also had a client who started doing these, and then she found that side hill hiking without a trail, you know, when you're on an unlevel surface, made her way less tired than it did before. And if you think about it, this strength to cantilever is going to make it so that you don't need to adopt extreme positions in your knee and ankle and spine in order to stay centered when you've got one foot on the ground and one in the air. If we get that hip to here and we can support ourselves, now we can be closer to neutral in the ankle and the spine, and that gives us more degrees of freedom to do other movements. And you've probably figured it out by now. The body part I'm talking about is your hips. So this last exercise, it's gonna look like a regular glute bridge, but it's gonna be a special glute bridge. What I want you to do is come into a regular hip bridge. That means squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, get a straight line between your knee and your shoulder. Your feet should be just barely wider than your hips here, and we can plant our elbows to start. From here, I want you to try and extend one leg out without letting the pelvis move or rotate or dip at all. So find that stability, bring one leg out, and then bring it on back in. You might find at first that your hip goes like this, maybe not that exaggerated, maybe it's here. And what we wanna do is have absolutely no movement here as we go into that single leg position. We can make this one easier with arms out to the side, or we can make it harder with arms straight above your head. But you should be able to switch back and forth 5 or 6 times without starting to get your hips dropping or rotating. And if this is hard for you, then check out the link in the description below. I have a glute bridge based workout that's gonna help you build up this strength over time. Now, the reason that we are trying to control our pelvis is because our pelvis is closest to our center of mass. And so if you're able to realize where that center of mass is, you can use it to your advantage on any sport you want. In mountain biking, you can use it to help you not skid out your back tire. In skiing, you can use it to help gravity work with you instead of against you. Try and look for what your hips are doing in whatever sport you are up to, and comment below if you have a specific tip for a specific sport that involves your hips. And if you want to do workouts with me, we have an online app. Our Adventure Ready crew has workouts every week that I use to stay ready for any sport that might come my way, and I'd love to have you join me. Have a wilder week, and we'll talk to you guys soon.